songs that are a little, what we call sexy. You can see from the title, it's more of a love album.
All right. Welcome to another week of Manversations 2020. I am Anthony Malcolm with my dope co-host out here with me each and every week. So we definitely wanted to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. And, you know, going into this new year coming up, just a reflection back at everything we have done this year. So many great shows, so many great guests. You know, just the feedback that we've gotten over the year that we've been on air. I think it was so great, man. I couldn't imagine a better year for a show to launch off with so much great topics week in, week out. I don't think a lot of people understand how hard it is to maintain a show, to come up with that much content, because when you think about it, we have about at least I want to say between 2 hours and 2.5 hour average on the content that we're giving you. And you times that times 52 weeks. That's a lot of information, a lot of gems and jewels that you guys have. But coming 2024, we will chop up a lot of that and start extracting a lot of the jewels out of those shows. And you guys will definitely get a lot of the pieces and the nuggets straightforward without searching through the whole entire show. So look forward for Manversations, the reels and everything that will definitely be launched next year. Looking very forward to that. We have a super dope intro track that we're introducing as well. Major came about it, created it, his peoples, all of them constructed it and put it together. I think that's super dope. Can't wait for y'all to hear that. We have the new logo that's launching. Major's coming up with that as well. And so much other different things that we're doing that you guys are going to appreciate. We're also going to have some sessions where we will be having studio set up where you guys will get the full effect like any other podcast where you see us in the room together. We'll be doing more of that. We'll still be doing the Zoom, but we'll try to convert to do a lot of shows in person and chop it up for you guys like that. We love all the feedback. Again, we have the email, or you can reach out to us personally if you have any questions or anything like that. The segments are going to be rolling back next year. Very heavy, more prominent. So look forward to that as well. So many great things that we have in store for you for 2024, but we just wanted to recognize and appreciate everything that you guys have done, as far as everybody that's followed us, has encouraged us, given us that words of affirmations of what we're doing out here is really great and dope for the people. Major can contest to a lot of people taking their information and end up getting married. And, that's a super dope thing, because our whole goal is to build the structure of family unit. It is divided, it is broken up, and we want to make sure that we do our efforts to try to piece everything back together. Strong household moving forward is the only way we're going to survive. So that's one of the main reasons that we have put this platform together, is to create better men, create better women, and create better households in a community, and we can be functioning on full force and getting stuff done in a more tangible way, and not celebrating a lot of the symbolic stuff we have been celebrating over the years. So we want to create more substance going into the future and helping other people within the community to create more substance as well. So like I said, we thank you for everything that you guys have done, contributed. We know that time is very valuable, and a lot of you guys spend your Sundays with us, and we really appreciate it, and we don't want to overlook that factor. So we definitely wanted to give you guys your flowers, and you guys are doing a wonderful job as well. You know what I'm saying? So we function and we flow with each other. We flow off of you, you guys flow off of us. And it's so great to have that type of atmosphere within our community. All right. All right. With that being said, we have our final week of Entrepreneur CEO Week. We don't have a guest tonight, but we're definitely going to talk about some hot weekly topics that have been on a lot of people's mind. I know we have gotten away from some topics for the last couple of weeks because we had guests, and we wanted to focus on the entrepreneurs this month, really, I should say, because the holidays are coming up, and I think we can benefit from entrepreneurs, because a lot of their products are super great, super high quality, as you guys can see for the last couple of episodes that we talked about and the ones we have promoted. So, making sure that they are getting their products reached out through Black media, and also that you guys are receiving quality services for the products that you guys are requesting. So it goes hand in hand, and you guys are getting some of the best quality. As you guys listen to the last show, a lot of the quality is so superb and so great. And that's what we want to bring. You guys have to understand that excellence is a part of your lifestyle. Getting high quality stuff is a part of your lifestyle. And a lot of that stuff comes from people that look like you. You just got to search and look for the quality people out there that's producing the things that you're looking for. They're out there, and we want to make sure that we bring them to you if we possibly can. So far, so good. All right. So with that being said, we're definitely going to talk about our Entrepreneur Week. We want to start off with a friend of mine. She has a mobile wash business, right? So her mobile wash business is Miss Fresh Wash and Fold, mobile wash and fold laundry service. 1.8 per pound, which is the clothing. That's what she goes by to figure out how much your total amount would be. So keep that in mind. If you guys have a scale at home, scale it out so you guys know exactly how much it is. That way you guys don't be surprised. Help yourself, help her. Residential or commercial. So if you have a small business and you are a mother and a family woman, or you're a father, a single father, and you're running your business as well, she could take care of the laundry for you as well. It just doesn't have to be, where you have to take care of, knock out everything yourself. There are people out here that have services that can take some of the time off, and you can take that time off and use that time that you normally would wash up your clothes, whether it's residential or for your business, and you can now put that time into another aspect of your life, because now that part is freed up because you have this wonderful lady who is out here willing to dedicate her services and her time to wash up your clothes, just in case you don't have time to do it. All right. Pickup, she does do pickup, and you can also drop it off. There's a 24-hour time, 24-hour turnaround time. So, you get your clothes back in 24 hours. Like, how fast is that? That's pretty quick. That's nice. Pretty quick, because normally when you go to dry cleaners, I know I put in my dry cleaners, they'd be like, oh, yeah, Mr. Malcolm, you come back. You want it 3 days from now? Mm-hmm. Yeah. They do it 3 days from now. So you don't get it right away. So just the fact of that she could give it to you back right away is super dope. Same day service is available. You can definitely call the number and check out the same day services, and see, if you want it back the same day, find out how you could get it back the same day. She does wash and fold, iron upon request. So that is a bonus in it if you need it. I don't know what the charges are for that, or if there is some charges. I don't know, what you guys have the telephone number. So remember, Miss Fresh and Wash and Fold mobile wash and fold laundry service. And that number is 786-318-6834. And now keep in mind, this is the South Florida area. I want to say in the Miramar, Miami Gardens type area, pretty much in that area. So if you're in that area, give her a call and find out, is she available for drop off. Maybe you might be a little bit out of her range, but if you can, for pickup, you might be out of her range, but if you want to drop it off to where she is, then you just find the number, her location through the number, and she can tell you where to come and drop the clothes off. And that way you can pick them up from the same destination from the clothes if you're outside of her driving area. All right. Nice. So where there's a will, there's a way. All right. So definitely check her out. Definitely want to shout out that entrepreneur, and the sister does great, phenomenal work, like professional. Your stuff be bagged up, folded, clear bags and everything. Look like you just came from the cleaners professional cleaners with your clothes.
Nice.
All right. So
Hit
definitely.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely check her out. All right. Definitely want to check out and our sweet sister, man. She's been doing her thing. And that is Mona
Yes.
Lisa.
Mona
As you guys
Lisa.
know, Mona Lisa is doing every year. She always does something super dope for the children out here. And I've always supported her. Matter of fact, while we're on here, I might as well send her my donation because she asked me to send it, and I've been so busy that I didn't send it. So let me go ahead and put it in here to send the money right now. But
I'm really
I
glad you
do-
said it because I'm in the same exact boat, but I wasn't going to say anything. I was just going to do it.
Oh, you're
on
in the
speak.
same. Listen, bro. One thing about me, I'm very honest, and I can say, hey, I slipped up. I didn't.
Thanks.
I didn't remember.
She was going to get this no matter what. Understand,
Yes.
but I definitely had a. Oh, damn, that's right. That was on the to-do list. My bad.
Yes. So
No
I
doubt.
definitely want to do that. I'm sending the money now. And it just went through. Okay.
There
So
it is.
just so you guys know, see, can you see it? All right. So I sent the money over to Mona Lisa for the sponsored youth. So let me bring that back up. So it's Love and Dignity for the Incarcerated Youth. It's a luxury gift bag event. Sponsor a youth gift bag for $30. All you have to do is Cash App the money sign community work. So that's Cash App money sign, the money symbol, community work. And her name, Mona Lisa, should pop up. And what she does is she gives natural bead chapstick, bamboo, toothbrush, natural soap, socks, journals, shampoo, toothpaste, lotion, and plants and that heal cards, right? So her email is Mona Lisa at probationstation.com. That's Mona Lisa at probationstation.com. If you guys want to email her, find out any other additional information, if you want to be a part sponsor on it, any other activities that she may engage in that you want to support, definitely reach out to the sister. Super dope queen. And love to support her every year. Every year I'm always donating. Whenever she does it, I'm always donating. So
Same
shout
here.
out to Mona Lisa. All right. So
No
that's
doubt.
what she does.
The
Luxury gift
30
bag.
just went through. All
Yep.
right.
Definitely. All right. So we definitely want to get into our next entrepreneur, super dope sister. I was hoping to have her on, but she is traveling right now. And Nikki is her name, definitely out there in Georgia. And her company is August Soul Enterprise, right? It's beauty, cosmetic, and personal care. Immerse your skin in nature's vitamins, vitamin skincare that helps clear keloids, stretch marks, wrinkles, malaria, plant-based acne, and hair growth. You can also shop at www.shopaugustsoul.com. All right. Just to give you a preview of what her products look like. You guys could go and check out her page on the Instagram. That's also the natural soaps she has, the oils that she creates. That's her whole layout right there, doing everything from the home. Some more soaps that she does. And she has a celebrity promoting her stuff. So as you guys know, this is Cynthia Bailey that is up there in Atlanta as well. She got her to promote her products, which is super dope. So there is a video on Instagram. If you go on Instagram at August Soul ENT, and you will find the video of Cynthia Bailey, and she talks about how great the products are and which ones are her favorite. So definitely shout out to August Soul ENT on Instagram, right? So that's August Soul Enterprises. super dope sister, and the quality product is super great. All right, so definitely want to get into our next thing, which is our weekly trendy topics, right? So definitely want to get into our trendy topics. One of the topics that I've seen was very disturbing, and I know we're going to start off a little bit heavy tonight, but I definitely wanted to dial into this. I'm not sure if everybody knows about it, but a guy named Christian Keys, right? So Christian Keys is an actor on what is he on? Queen's Men. I think he's the actor on Queen's Men, but he also does multiple roles. So the actor Christian Keys emotionally claimed, Say that again.
Yeah, All the Queen's Men. He also wrote the novel that show is based off of.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Super dope, dude. So actor Christian Keys emotionally claimed a male Hollywood billionaire sexually assaulted him. Keys says the successful businessman offered him $1,000K to see him naked and tried to get him in bed while he was under the influence in an unnamed man's guest bedroom. Keys also mentioned at times he would be without his mobile devices, but was able to secretly record the billionaire through a sound recorded pen. BT, an actor, says he will name the unidentified alleged predator in the days to come. This is developing story. All right, so you guys might have seen it all over plastered, all over social media. They have, and what is so crazy about it is, right? He talks about, and you got to watch the video. He has a whole live on this thing, and he says that the billionaire allegedly grabbed his penis, right, his genital, and he talks about it in descriptive details. And then under his page, I went on his page and I was going through the comments because I wanted to see other celebrities that interacted with the brother to see if they were going to support him. And you already know, Elise Neal is one of my favorite celebrity crushes. That woman exudes beauty from left to right. Love that sister so much. And she was saying, huh?
Yeah, Elise Neal is dope. I was disagreeing.
Yeah. So she says, my brother, I understand and I completely am with you. I've been in these situations and I'm proud of you. Like I'm proud of myself for always taking a long route. Love you. And then another woman co-signed and said, amen. Now it makes sense as to why we see some actors all of the time while other great actors we only see periodically. I'd rather do one role a year and keep my dignity. Kudos to Christian for speaking up. I bet he's going to feel so much lighter now. So I definitely wanted to highlight that because I wanted to go back to this part of the meme, right? And I think this part of the meme is so tale-telling, right? It says, he doesn't say the name of the person, but if you analyze what people are saying, if you know BT and you know where he works at, billionaires ain't too many billionaires.
Real talk.
And the fact that he says sometimes it's your own heroes. So that lets you know that it's a black individual because we idolize our individuals as heroes. Because you see a black billionaire, you know that's going to be your community hero. So I saw another screenshot by a gentleman on there, and he said TP. He says, I know everybody on here already knows he's talking about TP, right? So I'm just reporting what the guy says. He put TP out there. We already know that TP is a billionaire. We're not speculating that it's him, but when you add up everything, it makes your antennas go off
Yeah.
because BET, TP is affiliated with BET. He is a billionaire. And he does wear a lot of dresses. And one of the things that he did say that one of the commenters said was that they asked him about, did you see the documentary? He said, no, I didn't watch the documentary.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as you know, TP just dropped a documentary.
Just saying. Yeah.
So when you put the pieces together, you really don't need the names based on everything he's saying and everything he's affiliated with. You can basically piece it together. So we're still gonna wait for him to put the name out there.
Yeah.
But I think everybody pretty much knows who he's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to make sure the brother is safe. The brother gets to accomplish what he needs to accomplish. He's waiting and sitting on the information. And I me personally, I'm not in his shoes, right? I'm not in his shoes, but I will say that I just wish the brother would go ahead and just put it out there, because when you put stuff like that out there and you wait, a lot of times these people will get rid of you because they got a lot to lose. So you might as well just put it all out there, get it off your chest, because the reason why he came forward, if you watch the live, is that he has a lot of this on his chest and he's trying to get it off. And he's like, I feel much better once I get this off my chest because it's been eating me up for years. Remember, this just didn't happen the other day. He's been talking about dealing with this stuff for years.
Right.
So he's like, enough is enough. He says, I really want to save other people because I'm watching stuff go down. He even said one part, he was talking about a woman who was in an executive position who would come up to him and tap his penis and be like, boy, that print is pretty heavy.
Yeah.
And he says,
I don't think the woman was an executive though, but he did say an actress. The woman,
I hope he puts her out there too.
It was an actress.
He said it was an actress. I don't know if she was an executive, but he did say she was an actress.
Okay, so the way he put it out there, you're probably right. But the way he put it out there was somebody of power. I felt like it was not a regular person, but somebody of power. But you might be right. You might be right.
It could have been, now, mind you, she might not have been in a position of power overall, but she could have been a producer or an executive producer on these projects. Because it's possible for sometimes you have actors, once they reach a certain status, whether it's they have a certain level of credibility to the name or they have a certain amount of funds, especially if it's a long-running project, sometimes like Fast and Furious series, for example, or maybe Rush Hour, whatever, they may start out just acting in it, but if they have some continuity or even if it's a different project, they might go ahead and toss in some of their monies to become a producer, which means they now have significant say-so, more so than the regular, actors or staff in the film to actually make things happen. So it could have been that she is an actress per se, but if she's working on this particular project that he's involved in as a producer, and he's just an actor or just a writer, then by definition, she's going to be in a position of power over him for this project that he's working on.
Correct.
Real talk.
You're right. And I thought it was super dope. I thought it was super dope that he was talking about how he checked her on it, and he was like, "Yo, what the fuck are you doing? Like, don't do that." You know what I'm saying? And super dope. He did that. He checked her on it. And I like I said, I like the brother. He's coming out. He's showing that men get abused in the system as well. Because we always think of women, like the Lupita and Taraji P talked about their experiences with Harvey Weinstein, and we just look at it as just women are being the ones being disrespected and treated in such manner. But yet we have a lot of men out here, especially heterosexual men, that are being pushed and forced into these positions. And it weighs a lot on them because a lot of them have they have family that they have to support. And then these villains and these evil people will put their career on the line if they don't align up with doing what these people ask for, you know. So that when he was talking about how he had like $3,000 in his name, and he was like, yeah, you know, half of that has to go to my child's mother for rent, the other half is for me for rent, and then the other stuff I have to eat bologna and sandwiches like that. And I'm in my mind like, damn, where the hell you live at and your child's mother live at for $3,000 to be good and still have money for leftovers? But I don't think he was saying it in a way of really 3,000, but he was just trying to show you how he pretty much is stretched on gigs right now because, you know, they just came off the strike and now they're back working, but that still takes a while before getting up and running into projects again. So they took a huge hit for actors and actresses. So he was just talking about how, you know, he's trying to ride on his dignity. And sometimes that's not profitable because these people will hold your career over your head for their sexual engagement and deviant acts that they want to perform with you. And that's not right. That's not fair. And that also creates an element of what they call mental illness, right? That can create mental illness because if you are pressured to do something that you don't want to do, you're going to have that on your head and that's going to eat you up. And I think a lot of that is eating him up. And that's why he's trying to, you know, say what he needs to say to come free. I really commend the brother. I hope that he's able to release what he needs to release, get it all off his chest, and protect other people in the future. That's my part on it. And I just wanted you guys to see what feedback you guys got on it or if you heard about that.
Bruh, it was heartbreaking. It was hard to watch, man. I was like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like, this brother was going through it. And you could tell, you know how you could just tell when somebody's telling the truth?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this guy was being sincere. And people often will ask me, why is it that you know you was on the radio, you was doing city to city, you was touring, you was this, you was that. What happened? That's what happened. I started seeing some strange things, bro. You know what I'm saying? I can tell you firsthand the industry and what it looked like and how these people be, doing little stuff and be trying you. And, I'm that guy, man. Like, real talk. I'm that guy. I'm volatile like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't try to jump bad or, be a tough guy, none of that. But if you come at me sideways, you're going to get hit if you don't get shot. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't play that shit. When it comes to certain, it's certain, when I draw lines, the boundary is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And like, even my former CEO of my label, we did a little reality show, Real, we're trying to get on, that way. We put out some music, all that stuff. It didn't work. He invited us back, right? And when he invited us back, even before I accepted the invitation back, this was some time ago, I sat down and I told him, look, man, you got a few weirdos that be around you, and I'm telling you straight up, like, you better get them together, like, right now, because last time even I felt like I was a little too lenient. And like this time, bruh, the least little thing, one small innuendo and I'm swinging on somebody. You know what I'm saying? You got to establish that shit at the door, because I saw some other people who are on my label do some real strange shit. You understand what I'm saying? And like, bruh, you can't conform. You can't give them an inch. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You got to check them and check them hard at the door.
That's real.
You feel me? And so, that I've seen it myself firsthand, in the industry with people. And that's why I didn't mess with it. And, he talked about the executive who was a billionaire. Then he talked about the woman who's an actress who also might have been an executive, right? And then there's another billionaire that he talked about at the end where he was talking about, this person, when he went to go have a meeting with him and, turns out that the place that he was meeting him at was connected to his suite, and then he went, to go like change or whatever. He came back, he had on some silk pajamas and the strawberries and champagne, and he's like, whoa, it was like, so it was that kind of shit. Like, yo, bruh,
he said that was a billionaire. That might be the other PD, huh?
Yeah, well, I don't know if he said it was a billionaire, but he said it was somebody he was talking to that he was trying to get to fund one of his projects. And I read up because he left a clue in there. He was like, this person was paying off whole classes tuition. You remember a couple years back, there was this black dude who came out that paid off the tuition of everybody in a given class. There's two of them that I found when I researched it. So more than likely, I'm guessing it's one of those two. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, dude, that's 3 different individuals. This is one person, 3 different individuals who in multiple instances tried him. You know what I'm saying? Either it was harassment or it was outright assault. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, bruh, I asked this question and nobody commented on that post when I put this up. It's like, to, those of you in the LGBT community, and I'm not attacking LGBT people per se. I am saying, however, those of you that are in the LGBT community that are always complaining about people mistreating and discriminating you and discriminating against you. Why is it so often, not all the time, because I understand this is not all LGBT people. Again, I'm not attacking that group, but I'm saying, why is it so often that when you see an LGBT person that is in a position of power, why is it that you see it that they are mistreating and discriminating against people? You have one on one show, one of the characters was written off the show because he refused to do scenes with a transsexual. That's why I don't watch that show. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? That's why I don't watch that show.
Yeah.
You're discriminating against someone because of their sexual preference, but you make all type of complaints when it's against you. I would think that a person who, has been a victim and you'd understand where victims are coming from, you would be more sympathetic and you would go out of your way not to do that. But I see that often, if I'm going to keep it real,
we see it. Yeah.
In that community, when it comes to straight people, discriminating against them and mistreating them. What's up with that? That's just an open-ended question. I want to put that out there because I really want some understanding on that. You know what I mean? But shout out to that brother. I pray for his protection, and I pray that he gets justice. I like the fact, unlike some other people who had sexual assault claims recently, I like the fact that he said it's not about money. Yeah. And he made that clear. Not that he can't still get his money. There's nothing wrong with still getting your money. But when you show up and you like, hey, I was abused, and oh Lord, it's so terrible. I want to help all the peoples, and a nigga cut a check and you disappear like it's all good. You full of shit. So I like the fact that he's not taking that approach. You know what I'm saying?
Is it okay if he still goes on tour afterwards though?
Yeah. Ain't no
okay, so he can disappear and go on tour.
I knew Bobby was coming with that heat. I knew it was coming. So use the lawsuit to promote your tour.
I gotta be a shit star at all times, man. I can't deny my nature.
So I talked about this before, how it's crazy how the bullies, the people that said they were bullied, are now doing the bullying. And I've watched that with the LGBT community. I've watched that with the Joe-ish community. And these people were claiming that they were being mistreated, which they were being mistreated. At one point, they were being mistreated. But they got the power that they need to change it, and yet now they're out there abusing their powers behind it. And I'm like, you can't be somebody who understands the struggle, the mistreatment, and then you get out there and get the power, and now you don't even recognize the mistreatment and you're mistreating people in the process. The same thing you complained about in the first place. So I didn't like that, and I'll just, want people to be more mindful when they're in communities, when you're out here fighting for a certain you know, is fighting for different rights and protection, that when you get it, now you end up being the bully. That's something we shouldn't be doing. So I just wanted to add that in there. But go ahead, Bob. You got it.
No, that's fact. That's some real stuff that you just said just now. And this is one of the reasons why it is highly necessary. And I've spoken about this before. I'm probably going to speak on it a whole lot more as well. So get used to it. May as well call me a broken record at this point. It is not optional. It's not something that you can just take or leave it, but it is mandatory that if you have undergone any sort of trauma, especially if it was visited on you by somebody else, you need to seek therapy. You need to seek it yesterday.
Real talk.
You need to seek it a week ago, because too often now, it doesn't happen all the time, but too often we see people who have been victims, they wind up becoming victimizers themselves.
Right.
People love to go ahead and railroad Robert Sylvester Kelly and, go in on him morning, noon, and night. They'll still bump his music, but that's another story. But they love to go in on him. He's a favorite whipping boy. And it's fun to go in and criticize him and take his followers to task. But nobody wants to talk about how Robert Kelly himself was a victim. He broke bad. And when the pieces got put back together, they did not get put back together properly. And now the victim becomes the victimizer. All right? We talk about how this happens with other people all the way around. It's men and women. It's not gender exclusive. It's not race exclusive. Hurt people. We say this. We know this. And yet we will sit back and watch people go ahead and basically fight to be the person that gets to do the damage.
Yeah.
Me being hurt is a problem, but me hurting somebody else, that's cool. That's fair game. Rules for thee, but not for me.
Yeah, basically.
All right? And that needs to be done away with, and we need to start getting these things at the root. You can get compassion for being a victim all day long. My heart goes out to you. But the minute you decide that you want to go ahead and flip the script, and now you want to go full bishop, and you want to have the juice now, I don't care what you've been through. You can get the hands too. You cease to be a victim. Now you have become the problem. You become the virus. You need to be handled now, because you are seeking to put more of this out into the world to create more people just like you. Needs to stop.
Yeah.
But to address what we were talking originally, because we kind of, didn't get off task. We just went to a different house in the neighborhood, but we still in the same block. But these industries, man, Hollyweird, and I consider the music industry to be an offshoot of Hollyweird. It's all the same. It's the same neighborhood.
Yeah.
From their inception. All right. From their inception, these places have been foul and they've been stocked with degeneracy. It's baked into the cake at this point. So much so to the point where if you have a little nook or cranny of it that's wholesome, that's straightforward, that's professional, it's just about the business, none of that funky stuff going on, it's an anomaly, to be honest. That's why so many of these things are what they know as open secrets. These things are common knowledge there.
Yeah.
I mean, if you just try to break in, if you just doing your initial auditions and you still all starry eyed, wow, this is amazing, I can't believe I'm here, and you got that whole doe-eyed look going on, then this is out the blue. But if you've been in those circles for a good 3, 4, 5 years,
yeah,
it's the definition of if you know, you know.
Yeah.
People like to make jokes about or poke fun at all these celebrities, whatever, who have all these drinking problems and habits, all these drug habits and problems. Most of these people, if you check on them before they actually got in the industry, they weren't the type to be all in like that. They weren't big on heavy partying and doing drugs and getting smashed, whatever. A lot of them are doing those things to cope because they can't manage the trauma, the abuse that they sustained in those industries outside of that. They got to get high at these parties, whatever, because they got to do some things. They got to do like the brother Christian did. They got to go get on their knees and Like Mike Epps said, do something strange for a little piece of change.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you ain't gonna get no work. And even to this day, the writer's strike was probably the worst it's been in Hollywood for a while. They've had several strikes on and off. I think this is one of the longest ones they've had in the past century.
Yeah.
But everyone knows if you're serious about making it big in the music industry, if you're serious about making it big in movies, you want to have your face on the billboards and everything, the modeling industry,
Yeah.
it's not uncommon for people to work several jobs and several bullshit jobs. They're working for tips, for change, practically panhandling, while still trying to make auditions. They're basically living out the cars or whatever. Just about everyone that's made it big has that story because it's so difficult to break into the industry. It's about networking and who you know. Opportunities are basically the run of the mill. You have to find a way to sustain yourself. And so these people are there destitute. They've thrown their all into. They basically came with all their belongings and a stick over their shoulders. And now you have this millionaire, this well-known figure coming in front of you and saying, "Yeah, man, you know all the suffering, all the hardship you've gone through. Yeah, I can get you through all that. Yeah, I can get to this big role. How does it sound to be acting alongside Julia Roberts? How does it sound to go ahead and be in a film alongside Don Cheadle? How's Matthew Broderick? How does Matt Damon sound? Yeah, sure. What do I have to do? Well, I got this itch that I think you'd be really good for scratching." And now you got to make this decision. Well, it's behind closed doors. No one will know. Maybe it's just this one time. Rent's running low. So it's a down season. A lot of tourists. Money's not coming in. They catch these people at their lowest, knowing that everyone on there is desperate for a comp. It's rare to get someone that's trying to break in the industry and they literally have a position where it's like, I do this for fun. I don't got to do this. They have FU money. It's rare to have that. They know these people are coming down on the luck. And so they take advantage of that. So I'm glad his brother's doing what he's doing. I support him 100% wholeheartedly. I hope he's taking the necessary precautions to protect himself because unfortunately, more than likely, he can kiss his career in the industry goodbye. Even if he does get some roles here and there, it's probably going to be garbage, trash. Probably not going to see too much of him, so I hope he has some other things lined up. I hope he has some friends outside the industry that can be of assistance to him. And I also wish that he would drop the hammer already because you know these people right now, they're scrambling all their resources to try and find ways to mitigate this, to maybe silence him or to kind of insulate themselves. So I want to be able to pull that trigger and do maximum damage. I want the whole structure leaning and shaking and crumbling. And the more time he gives them to kind of regroup and catch themselves, the less time he's going to have to be able to do that effectively. But I'm here for it. I'm keeping my ears and eyes peeled and do God's work, brother.
Exactly.
Man, I just wonder what it's going to be like because he also said some things in there that alluded to this person, you know, has been deified. You know how we're always talking about celebrity worship. I talk about that all the time. And, you know, this particular person that I'm thinking of, that kind of matches the initials of the person that you're thinking of, he's in real deep with the so-called faith-based community. And I can't wait to see how they handle this. You know what I'm saying? Because it's real funny how they act when, you know, a wrong is committed by one of their own. You know, if you remember how they acted when Eddie Longstroke was out here fucking up. You know what I'm saying? You remember how they acted? I remember how they acted. You know, they still practically worship this man. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, he was guilty than a bitch, you know what I'm saying, of raping these underage boys. You feel me? And they still rode for this guy, man. Like, it's a very real thing on the thing where he says, you know, he wonders how many of his colleagues are going to be upset with him because it's going to affect their work. That was heavy. That was real heavy. But yeah, you know, I really want to see how I want to see the reaction of people. Because if you notice, a lot of times when some shit go left, it's the initial action is bad, but the reaction of the people is what really makes it an abomination.
Correct.
But go ahead. Yeah, I just had to put
You know,
that.
you know what's gonna be interesting with that to monitor
Yeah.
that because you're probably gonna maybe get a couple of outbursts here and there, but in situations like these, specifically for the reasons that you mentioned,
Yeah.
this is where Reverend Dr. King's words definitely come into play. You're not gonna remember the words of your enemies, but the silence of your friends. Now, I'll be honest, I don't know the brother's work that well. I looked at him and I saw that he's been in a few things that I have seen. I remember him. I personally know him most notably from a role he had in the Supernatural TV series, I think in season 5 or whatever. That's where I know him most notably from.
Yeah.
I know he's been in The Boys as well and some other stuff. But I would suggest you take a look at the people that he's worked with in the past, any recurring projects he's been on. Take a look at those people, especially if he's been in anyone's premieres, whatever, showing support. Take a look and see who has nothing to say.
Real talk.
Keep an eye
Real
out for the
talk.
people who are conspicuous because of their absence.
How about that?
The radio silence. That's what's going to say the most because when you're in these circles, or whatever, the rules are different. Everyone's not going to go all ratchet on an IG video talk about who he think he is, talking about so and so. This person been good. It ain't gonna be all that nonsense we see at the peon levels.
Yeah.
Them people just simply pull back.
Mm-hmm.
You was in a crowded room. You sneeze and look up. All of a sudden, it's like 3 or 4 stragglers around you. Where everyone go. That's how it's gonna play out for him. And that's why I said I hope he has some things lined up afterwards because, unfortunately, it's very much like the blue wall of silence. You missing you out. People like even the people who want to have your back, they pull back because you become cancerous just by association. Remember what happened with Willard at the Oscars? Remember what happened with that?
Yeah.
And I think especially those of us who aren't in the industry, a lot of us all learned a whole lot about how Hollywood works. The whole Oscar thing is invite only. You have to get invited into those circles, whatever. You have to get vouched for. And now there's a ban that's placed on you. Whoever recommended you to be in there, they're going to be looked unfavorably upon because of your actions. So it's this whole network clicked up thing that they got going on. So in an industry, in an area where your network literally is your net worth, a lot of people are going to try and protect their own bag and just going to pull back from him. So watch that. Shout out to Sadiq Anubu. Did I pull it back up again, Ant? It says, yep, he should have dropped the ball already. They're scrambling to figure out how to mitigate the damage. He's already caused major damage. This has already gone viral. The internet is popping. Absolutely. So, definitely the actions, hopefully, of a man who has nothing left to lose. And I hope he doesn't have anything left to lose in a positive way and he can start all over again.
No doubt.
Definitely. I thought, what he said was very commendable. He also was talking about how he is he said that he was a producer. So I think when he was talking about exposing the people, he had it in mind that he wanted to start his own thing. And my thing was they controlled that aspect of it. So just like Bobby was saying that, you might as well just figure out something else to do. I would hope that he would be able to start something with somebody, because I remember the guy from Avengers, what was the black guy's name, who said that he was starting his own
Anthony Mackie.
Anthony Mackie, yes. Opening up his own studio or something like that, right? So I would hope he would get with somebody like Anthony Mackie and go, start up their own stuff and get that thing on and popping, which would be super dope, So, those are things that I feel like we have the powers to go out there and try to use this to get on to the next level as well. So I definitely would hope that something like that can transpire and change the dynamics of what we got going on. Because people always, the first thing they always say is that, nobody comes forward to talk about the mistreatment. When women do it, they say their voices are unheard. So now the fact that you have a man out here who is willing to go out here and stand up for what's right, I'm hoping that everybody could rally behind that, and then get things done that normally we couldn't get done before. All right. So we're definitely going to keep our ears pinned to that, because he said that he was going to, if I'm not mistaken, he said a couple of days, right? Or was it a couple of weeks? He said he was going to wait to release.
He said within the coming days.
Yeah, within the coming days. So hopefully, I'm praying that we could get that out and nothing happens to the brother in the meantime.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I want to lighten it up a little bit. I want to ask you guys, is this outdoor material? Is this outdoor attire? Is this something that if you had a homegirl or as your girlfriend or wife, would this be something that you would co-sign on, or you'd be like, babe, no, that ain't gonna rock with me?
Nah, man. Nah, bro. Nah. I mean, it's two things. Let me go ahead and put this out there first. One, yes and no, right? Like when you at the poolside, whatever the case may be, there's outdoors and then there's outdoors, right? If you by the pool and you getting in the pool, you could say that's something akin to maybe a swimsuit. You know what I'm saying? And you got your swimsuit on while you're in the pool because it's appropriate for that setting. When you go inside, you put on some clothes. You know what I'm saying? And
hold on, that's okay. Well, I want to say that's boy shorts.
I get it.
White boy
that
shorts.
Ain't no boy shorts. She wearing tighty whities.
Yeah,
you were wearing those when you were 5 years old. Stop.
Wait, there's
what the hell going on
here? There's another point that I want to make here, and people can be as upset with me as they like. Anthony set me up. I'm gonna blame him. But there's you know I'm going with this. You know I'm going with this, and only myself, sometimes can say these things.
You blame the black man, so you'll be fine now.
Yeah, there's something called wearing attire that is figure appropriate. You understand where I'm coming from? And see, this is why Lizzo gets in a lot of trouble. You understand? Because at the end of the day, if you don't have the figure for it, just don't bother. Just don't. You know what I'm saying? Like real talk. And that goes for everybody. People were clowning Fat Joe a couple months back because he took his shirt off at some awards show, and everybody's like, "Oh my God," you know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Rick Ross.
You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, when you not in shape, don't be trying to get out here. You know what I'm saying? Don't be trying to get out here. Like what they say, you put lipstick on a pig, it's still a pig. You put boy shorts on a pig, it's still a pig. You understand what I'm saying? And it's like, bro, you gotta know the ledge. It's certain shit that's body appropriate and certain shit that's not. And that goes for everybody. If you're not in shape, don't make an ass of yourself and don't get put out there, because somebody gonna come for you and you gonna feel bad. And it just is what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? Like when I was a scrawny little dude, I wasn't out here flexing, you know what I'm saying, taking my shirt off, this and that. It just is what it is. I do that a little bit now. You feel me? Because I hit the gym a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But back when, before I got my swag up, I wasn't doing all that. But no, the short answer is, if you're talking outdoor, unless you're near some water, you understand what I'm saying? Or laying on the beach, whatever the case may be. If you are in or near an indoor establishment, no, that is wildly inappropriate, and particularly for her figure. When you got all this voluptuousness, you understand what I'm saying? And some people won't necessarily, she is overweight, but some people won't necessarily call her overweight. You know what I'm saying? But when you got all this voluptuousness that she has, tickle old bitties and all that, Jenny Bob says in the comments, can we normalize clothes? There's a decent way to look sexy, and then there's this. That's what I'm saying.
Jenny, they will not let you.
And I'm glad a woman said it. because women love the. Oh, you just hating on the women. I'm glad a woman said it. God damn it.
And I'm glad you brought that up, because that was the reason why I left the names. You know, normally I don't put people's names out here, but my homegirl is the one who was on top. That's my homegirl. She's my Facebook friend.
Yeah.
She said it's a no, and the girl who posted it said this is not an outfit. So you had two women that sat back and said this shit don't look good.
And the third one just now in the comments.
Exactly. So what I wanted to show that, because a lot of times when men say things, it's not just men, it's women that think the same thing as well. But when the man say it, now we get labeled as controlling. You're trying to control her body. You're trying to shame her body. You're trying to be a dictator. No, we're letting you know what's appropriate for the whole culture, the whole community. Because guess what? That, to me, whether you're by the pool or not, is not acceptable, because that's all white. You go in the pool, these kids come and see you, it's pussy print and real life pussy in their face.
Moose knuckles.
You can see every detail of it once you get that wet.
Real talk.
So
can draw that thing from memory.
That to me would be very detrimental to the young children. And we got to get back to understanding style and class. And that's why I love the fact that we had brother Mr. Coop on here last week from Bow Ties.
Yeah.
And Cigars and Bow Ties as our featured entrepreneur CEO. And he talked about that, you know, the self-esteem that he got from watching his granddad dress so well. You know, he said it was very rare that he would not see his grandfather in a suit. And now he wears suits everywhere. It's like he'll dress down on a Sunday maybe, or watching the game. But otherwise than that, you'll find him in a suit. And that's how our mentality was back in the 1920s. And like I've stated on here before, back in the days when you saw the children and the men, they all had suits. They were going to their jobs, which was their father's was a sharecropper, or he ran a business, and they were bringing their sons to come along to understand the business. You know, we had that. And then back in the 1940s, going into the 50s, we were the ones that saved the auto industry from collapsing. Then you go back down here to Dania Beach, and shout out to Emmanuel George, who put me up on the history with Mr. Maisel and all the great pioneers out of Dania Beach, who all had, there was a grocery store in Dania Beach, a black-owned grocery store, and all of the brothers and their friends had the front of the grocery store lined up with the newest Chevys that was out during that time. These were cars that white people couldn't even afford. You see what I'm saying? They all out there, suits, got their business popping, out here flossing, just like how we do now, but they were doing it on a better level, a more classier level than that.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that we want to try to keep and implement and put back that code of conduct, because they flossed, but they also kept it real classy when they did it. We floss now and we don't have shit to show for it. We're doing the ignorant version of flossing. You know what I'm saying? A lot of that times, like our flossing now, motherfuckers go in, live in a damn rundown apartment and got a Chevy sitting on 44-inch rims outside, and now they got to peep every minute that the alarm goes off to see if somebody trying to steal their car in a public ass apartment. Versus you going to get a house, and then you can go and get your specific car that you want to hook up and have it in your garage.
Right. No doubt.
The backwards mentality, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I say, you know, I just highlighted that because I wanted to show that we had sisters out here that are saying no, and we got brothers out here that's saying no, and collectively we're just trying to make sure that we have the code of conduct intact in our community. And I'll leave it at that, and I'll pass it over to Bobby for you to sum up what you need to sum up.
No, nigga, no, nigga, no. This is not an outfit. It looks like someone tackled her inside of her little brother's underwear drawer. And when she got up, that's what happened to her. Those are tidy whitey drawers.
It's unfortunate.
That's half of a wife beater that she's wearing. And then what's that? Some kind of crackhead short? Look, no. It is not okay. This is not all right. And I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna tack on body appropriate or not, there is no situation or scenario or setting in which this passes the muster. And I'm gonna go right back and I'm gonna tackle your reference to Lizzo, aka R Belly, who by the way we haven't heard anything about. Interestingly enough, we heard everything else about everyone else. All of a sudden, R Belly's been swept to the side. That's another story for another day. But it doesn't matter if it was Lizzo herself wearing that getup, or if it was Rihanna Fenty wearing that.
True.
It's whitey's and a piece of a wife beater.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. That's not fashionable. That's not even right now. God forbid that gets splashed. That is thin, bare material. That's not meant for really concealing anything. It's meant to be worn underneath your garments.
There you go.
Yeah.
Missing so much, get some humidity on that or some dew on it, you're going to see everything through it. It's designed to be that way.
Yeah.
I'm all for fashion and style, and I'm not crazy with it, but on occasion I can respect the creative or liberal push that some of the styles have gone to in some cases. Maybe and again, location does mean something, because as tacky as it is, if it was done on some New York runway or something where everyone was wearing something like this was the theme, whatever, it would be ridiculous.
Yeah.
It would be retarded. It would be goofy. We'd all say these people look hella stupid, but it would be appropriate.
Yeah.
This, as presented, no, not at all. No. And I'm glad most people, as far off the reservation as society overall is currently, I'm glad that people are still at least sane enough and aren't completely so far gone that they can still recognize, yeah, this ain't it, Chief. Now, unfortunately, I can't swear for certain that it's going to be that way in a year and a half from now. But right now, at this current juncture in time, most people are on the right side of this. Thank you, Lord.
Some of them. I don't know about most, but some.
I have low expectations. Look. I know better. I know better.
I mean, this is offending my eyes, man. This is hard.
All right, so what I'll do is I'll switch it over real quick to show that men do hold men accountable, right? So shout out to my homeboy Leonard Jones. He's also my Facebook friend. And he says, I love and appreciate all the brutality, honest, blood raw friends that will check me on my bullshit when I'm flying off course or need to tighten up. Every criticism is not a diss. I love when my friends air my ass out. I look at it as a way to improve and become a better person versus playing a victim. Shout out to that brother.
That's real. I love that.
Putting that out there on social media. And letting people know, it's good to get checked by your homeboys and not feel like they're ragging on you, but trying to help you to be a better person.
Right.
And that's what you need. You need great friends. You need good professional mentors around you. You just need a good, positive set of people around you that make sure they keep you in check and keep you in line. Just in case you fall off the rails, they'll grab you back and shake you up and be like, yeah, put you back on the rails again. So definitely much needed. And so shout out to his support system and those dope dudes around him to check him. And he has money. And so they're not intimidated by his money. They're like, yo, okay, you got money, but that don't mean shit, nigga. You go out here and be a man, you know.
Right.
And that is the
Right.
way that you stop a lot of these quote unquote high value men that people put out there. A lot of these quote unquote high value men that have money aren't really high value because a lot of them are very ignorant, very dictatorship, very narcissistic. And, you know, they don't have men checking them. And then they want to discard those guys and get around people that will co-sign their bullshit. And those aren't high value men. High value men is when you have money and still can sit back and take criticism of trying to be better versus you looking down on them and be like, hey, I got more money than you. Who you to tell me who I am? So I definitely wanted to highlight that point as well, because that was a major factor too, that somebody with money could be humbled enough to take in criticism to make them a well-rounded man with money versus an asshole with it.
Real talk.
Absolutely.
Look, if you don't know how to take criticism from the guys around you, you might as well not have them around you. You know what I'm saying? Some of these dudes out here to do all this knucklehead shit, like Zion Williamson. Who else? Who has done some really dumb shit? Scottie Pippen. You can name. It's just a whole goddamn clown car. Kanye is always doing some dumb shit, dude. If you had solid dudes around you, and if you had sisters around you, you know what I'm saying? If we gonna keep it a buck, if you had solid dudes around you, and if you had sisters around you, you wouldn't be doing half the goofy shit you're doing. You know what I'm saying? And it can't be on some old under the threat of I won't cake you off or I won't paper you up. You understand what I'm saying? If you tell me the truth, or if you give it to me blood raw, no, that's not doing you any good. I told Sister Felicia this some years back when I first met her. You know what I'm saying? When she was talking about stuff when she was out here still dating before she got married, I told her, well, look, when you're dealing with men, sister, and even when you're dealing with friends, because she, we had a conversation and she was all, upset about a certain thing. I'm like, yo, people who really fucks with you, 1 trillion, people who really your friends, they gonna tell you what you need to hear.
Yeah.
Everybody else gonna tell you what you want to hear. Especially if you can do some shit for them. Their friendship to you is one of convenience. You break them off here and there. You get them in little places here and there. You do this, you do that. I was a club promoter, so I know. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, just used to want to be down with me because I get them in the club. You understand what I'm saying? It's like, bro, you got to know the difference between people who just blowing smoke up your ass and pissing on your leg. When and telling you it's raining, you know what I'm saying? When they piss it on your leg, you know what I'm saying? And to see brothers, I always map that over to the sisters because there's a real problem with that there and accountability. But I noticed that men, real solid brothers, you usually don't have to say that to them too much. They usually want brothers around them that check them and get them together when they going off course. And I think that's because of the simple fact that as a man, and I'm gonna wrap it up real quick, I'm gonna be too long, but as a man, I always make this point. We don't have a lot of kickstands. You know what I'm saying? We don't have a lot of spotters. You know what I'm saying? If shit go left, we gotta face the consequences. If you get into a fight with a dude right now outside a club, it's likely you're gonna go to jail. Females get fights all the time. The cop will pull them over to the side and talk to them. Okay, you've been a bad girl. Let's send them home. You understand what I'm saying? They fight on TV every damn day. Most of the fights that you see on television are women fighting. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm just, making a larger point that type of logic benefits everyone regardless of gender. And a lot of y'all people out there, that do knucklehead shit, regardless of gender, it's because you don't have a real support system around you. You don't have nobody around you that's going to check you on your bullshit that really loves you. You just got a bunch of motherfuckers around you that want to inflate your ego. You know what I'm saying? And that's why you keep taking these L's. I'm just saying, think about the Diddy situation. I mean, if those alleged things are true, who was around this nigga telling, hey, bro, you going a little too far with this shit? I mean, and this is, you know, you gotta protect the talent, right? This is the talent.
Yep.
This is the guy that. This is the reason why all y'all eating. Y'all need to be on his ass so he don't fuck up y'all money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, in that capacity, but also, you know, his relatives and people who are close to him. Bruh, you ain't gonna look out for this. You got to the level of seriousness that shit was on that I read about. I'm just saying. I'll land my plane there.
Yeah, definitely.
No, look, big ups to your boy for putting that out there and making that known. And I would say, especially because he has some resources on his pocket, because he has, I would say, some level of status, it's even more important that he has people around him to keep him, hold him accountable and keep him grounded like that. Because one of the big issues that people have once they start elevating, once their salary rises, their tax bracket increases, once they start getting to higher levels of status, they're in higher level higher level of circumstances and areas, is they tend to lose touch with the floor beneath them. And so we see a lot of times we'll hear interviews with celebrities, for example, or from rich and wealthy people, and they'll be talking on things, and you hear, especially when it comes to politics and social issues, what have you, they'll be speaking on things, and they sound so confident, so assured, you know, like they just know they know what they're talking about. And the average man and woman in the street's like, what the hell is this clown even talking about? Like, what? Like, dude, chick, you are all the way off. And in that moment, it becomes abundantly clear that no matter how likable this person may or may not be, they have absolutely no idea what it's like for the people that are where they used to be. And you don't have to be a celebrity either. It could be just a person that holds a certain position. I've seen a number of occasions when you have school board meetings, for example, you'll hear some of these superintendents or some of these chair people who make these decisions that deal with everything from classroom management to policies. And all the teachers, the parents, when they hear some of these things, they're like, you clearly have no idea what it's like in these classrooms nowadays. You might have taught umpteen years ago, but you've got no idea what it's actually like there now. It's completely different. You out here spitting policies that would have fit in the 80s and 90s. You're not here in this decade. And so it can happen at any level if you're just simply out of touch. And people out of touch aren't necessarily bad people. They're just uninformed. And in most cases, because they don't have anyone to keep them clued or clicked in. And when they do have people around them, they're usually just trying to be, as the wonderful late Dr. John Henry Clark would say, professional ass kissers, and just tell them whatever they want to hear. This person says, wow, that's a nice green sky we have. Yeah, that's a nice green sky out there. It's like a clover. Yeah. Man, oof. This is a nice blue color grass. Yeah, it sure is. You know, I got some pictures out. Yeah, the best blue ever. Talking complete nonsense. But because they want so badly to be up there, they don't want to get cut off from the spigot, so to speak. They want the prestige. They want the little extra dollars tricked off, or they want to be seen, or whatever the benefit is. They will not say anything to risk pissing off and offending this person. So if you have somebody, especially if you're at the levels, you have at least just one person that's going to not be afraid to put their foot thigh high up your ass and wear you like some Timberland boots and let you know, hey, you messed it up out here. Tighten up. You were blessed. That's not an enemy. That's your nearest and your dearest friend. And so we need to strive to not only have those people in our lives, but to be those for the people in our lives too. And if you run across someone who doesn't want to be that, they can't bring themselves to be that person for you, you either need to, I would recommend that you cut them off altogether, or at the bare minimum, you significantly reduce their role in your life.
Yeah.
This person needs to go from being a friend to an acquaintance. I see you in the street, hey, what's up? Wish you happy birthday here and there, and that's it. We don't talk much outside of that. And I recommend anyone that's offended by you doing that for them, that's a sign that you need to let them go. Because first and foremost, if this is my friend, ain't no way in hell should I have to be walking around on eggshells around you.
Mm.
I got to be cautious about telling you the wrong thing because you're going to get upset and I'm a bad person for reminding. Nah, man. If I talked to you 3 weeks ago about you effing up and here it is, you still cutting up, I'm going to get in your ass again.
Mm.
And because I love you, I'm going to keep using you as a punching bag until you finally get you where you need to be. And then we can celebrate your growth and your progress. But if I can't do that for you, if that's a problem, then I don't want you around me either.
Yeah.
So we need to basically redefine how we see this. Accountability is not a curse word.
Mm.
It is not profanity. Accountability is love. It is impossible. I didn't say difficult. It is impossible to love someone and not hold them accountable. It's impossible to love someone. It's impossible to love yourself and to not want to be held accountable, because accountability is what takes you to the next level. You can't be about self-growth and self-improvement and loving yourself if you're not accountable. Because if nobody can check you, if you won't even check you, you're going to be in the same exact muck that you've been in. You will have nothing to show for the time that you've been alive. So find those people, be that person. And if you find that it means that you're going to have to do some corporate restructuring, so be it. Renovate your tribe. But that's what's going to take you into the future and beyond.
Amen. That's what's up.
Yes, sir. I like some of these comments. Have y'all been reading these comments? It says she looked like she has on men's underwear or the hospital panties after you have a baby.
That's exactly what's going on.
That's it right there. Some of these celebrities are the worst role models ever. They beef with friends, boyfriends, husbands, and wives every 3 days. Ain't that the truth?
Yeah. They're the most out of touch. Ain't nobody there trying to tell them not to go on here.
Real talk. Doesn't that make you think about the Kanye situation? My God, all these people sitting in there. Yes, he is a prophet of God. Yes, girl. Yeah. They don't know what the hell he's talking about, and I know they don't because he don't know what the hell he's talking about. That's a whole other conversation, though. We not. Boy, I could spend all day on that dumbass nigga. But
so I did want to since we brought up celebrities, I did want to talk about how we've witnessed a great union between two couples. It wasn't the perfect union, but they did make it work for years. It wasn't really no tabloids or publicity on them like that. And the wife just felt like she just wanted to part ways, because sometimes women have this facade with this internet and social media where they feel like the grass is just greener over there, when they feel like the house that they're living in, the grass is being at a standstill, the same height, the scenery looks the same for so many years. It doesn't give them a thrill anymore. And they feel like, abandoning ship, going over there. I see somebody over there that has a lovely landscape that I would love to partake over there. Let me see if I can find somebody over there. And they leave their years of foundation to go over across the street to find out that ain't shit over there but an illusion. So you went over there, found out his illusion, and now you feel like an ass. And then you come back and want to go back home to your peoples, but now the world's watching because you put it out there. So you don't want to seem like a hypocrite coming back home to your husband that you left. And I felt like there was two different type of people out here. And if you don't pay attention to what you're doing, you can leave something so great to end up like this. So,
oh my God. Whoa!
I have been chuckling about this all week.
I'm done. Why did I get this? Why didn't I get this? Oh, you know I have a field day and act a slap ass fool with this meme.
I'm
Oh,
sorry.
shit.
I'm sorry, brother. I hold me accountable right now. I failed you. I dropped the ball, and I'm gonna let you know right now. This isn't a meme. This is actually one of a whole photo shoot. I'm gonna tag you
I
to
know. I can
Yeah.
tell. I can see the
it.
excitement on her face. They got the same hair.
So, so the caption the person put is, "This will be a lot of women's reality if they don't get their shit together."
oh
Oh,
my
I know that's
God.
right.
And I brought that up because of what I was talking about earlier was,
Of course
Tamia,
it was. Of course.
what's her name? Tia,
Tia
my bad.
Mowry.
Tia Mowry, right? So you leave your husband, and then you get on social media and you get on these interviews, and you're like, God, the dating scene sucks. It's horrible out here, and you already done, put your man to the curve, thinking it was greener grass out here, and then you come back to a Thanksgiving. This picture was taken around Thanksgiving, and somebody wrote, "Is this Thanksgiving miracle or is it co-parenting picture?" I don't think that's co-parenting picture. I see that as more of I messed up. I'm trying to get back good with my husband that I left. So I'm going to, try to wiggle my way back in and make things worse. And make things better. If I'm not mistaken, I think they came out saying that she was saying that she was trying to work things out, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. That I think those words came out of her mouth, that she was trying to work to get back in. But like I said, women, you guys got to understand your decisions, can go from the extreme. You can go from, look at you, having a wonderful smile, we're enjoying with your family, your kids that want to see both mom and dad in the house, or you can give it all up to get Oscar, the dog that you wanted, and marry that dog for life and be a dog mom. It's up to you. The choice is yours.
Oh, miracle on Whole Street picture. That's what Jenny said.
What's sad about that? What's sad about that is,
wow.
When it was said a while back, and got to give credit where it's due, when Kevin Samuels we're talking about how a lot of women are gonna have to buy a dog and die alone.
Yeah,
a lot of women were bristling and get in their feelings about that. They got really upset, and they made it out to be a bad thing. And I made sure, because when it comes to posts like these, I always tell people most of these posts. Most of these posts, period, whether it's a celebrity issue that's going on, whatever, people like to say, "Oh, this is celebrities, it doesn't affect us," whatever these scenarios, blah blah blah. I am always less interested in the post itself than I am with the comments.
There it is.
People are talking about, "Oh, these scenarios don't matter. This isn't realistic." Okay, cool. This doesn't affect. No, okay. You're probably right, because maybe this is fake. These skits, they're not real. They just okay. Maybe it's not real, but you know what is real? The people's responses to them.
Yeah.
The people don't understand. This isn't anything new. This is old, ancient marketing. We're talking about from the 1800s. This is old, basic. This is the original, and it's still highly effective to this day. Your consumer reports, where you put information in front of people, you do surveys, you go ahead, you have these focus groups, you bring people in, you want some feedback on a particular idea or a movie concept or a product. How can we improve on this, that, and the third? What do you think about chairs? Do you have chairs at home? How many chairs do you have? What kind of chairs are they? What do you use them for? Are they living room chairs, dining room chairs? All kind of basic things, focus groups. They even pay people to participate in these things to get their interest and their feedback. Because they're trying to find out, what are people thinking? What do they like? What's the direction? How can we use this? And they use it for products. They use it for psychology purposes, find out where people's opinions are, where the society is. This is old. Way before technology that we know today.
Right.
So when you have these posts that get
Yeah.
dropped, and people are responding, the posts might be poo-poo, but the people's feedback is very real. You see all the likes, the reactions, the positive reactions, the negative reactions. All of it matters.
Yes,
Yeah,
it
you're
does.
right about right
So
about
things
that.
like this,
I wanted
and
to
like I
add
said
that.
before, really quick. Let me just finish off real quick and saying.
Yeah.
So, like I said before, go ahead.
No. I was just saying that I was just going to add to what you were saying about the technology is that even with your phone, whenever you get on new apps or whatever, it icon comes up and says, "Do you want to ask the app to track your information, or you
Yep.
decline it?" Because that's a survey, so they
All the
watch you,
yep.
monitor you. I just wanted to add that in.
No, absolutely, because your data is very valuable. It gives companies the idea in which direction to go in. And so when Kevin Samuels and those were talking about how a lot of these women are going to have to buy a dog or die alone, the women were mad and pushing back. That's BS. We don't have to do none of that. And so when I went to the comments to see how the women were responding to this photo shoot, I saw some who were sensible, like, this is sad, this is pathetic. Why she do this? Is given it's given bestiality vibes, or whatever. But I saw a number of women that were right there cheering, and I'm like, "Oh, it's just for comedy. She's having fun. What's wrong with it? You know, she doesn't have a child yet. This is perfectly fine." I'm like, okay.
What do I
When he
always
said it, it was a problem. But now that you're seeing it in action, now you're trying to support it, realizing this is what it's going to be. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
all right.
Real talk. Real talk.
Def-
What do I always say, y'all? Hashtag always an excuse.
yeah.
And some of these people who are out here that, do what we do, some on a much larger level, like the Derek Jacksons of the world, and some on a much smaller level, like some of the, people that, we know in our circle. This is why a lot of them are not taken seriously because you can't pick and choose who you hold accountable and when you hold someone accountable based on gender, based on, what the other person had did and what had happened was, and all this bullshit. Bruh, you gotta shoot straight. You understand what I'm saying? You gotta call it like you see it down the line. It is what it is. A lot of people out here are not being taken seriously because they have a bias towards a certain gender. You understand what I'm saying? And it's not only women, by the way. You know what I'm saying? There's some men out here, that everything a man does they have an excuse for it. But the difference is in the men and the women, the serious men don't take those men seriously.
Yeah.
The serious, sophisticated, supposedly intelligent, and progressive women, not only do they take those women seriously, they're making excuses for them right along with those women. You understand what I'm saying? Everything, is a contribution to the sisterhood of failure. You understand what I'm saying? And it's like, bruh, at some point, you got to grow up. You can't be perpetual teenagers out here. You understand? And really, if you want to talk about time, time is the enemy of the female gender. You understand what I'm saying? When you're younger, that's when you have the most leverage. That's when you're the most fit. You're at your most beautiful. You're at your prime. I know a lot of these women who don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They try to tell you that's not the truth. No, that's the truth. It's the obvious truth. It's the common sense truth. When you're a woman, when you're younger, you have more leverage. And so therefore you can, have whatever the hell you want. You know what I'm saying? And you got a lot of these, women, unfortunately, out here sabotaging younger women, telling them things like piss off your 20s and just do you. No. You know what I'm saying? Like you in your 20s, just giving a horrible advice. You know what I'm saying? And then wondering why they're having adverse outcomes, and they're ending up in these unmanageable situations. Unfortunately, a lot of these older women set the younger women up for failure because they want them to feel like they did. If we just gonna keep it above.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? And Kevin Samuels was right about a lot of things. There's some things he was wrong about, but no one ever criticizes those things. You understand what I'm saying? People are always, they always got this bug up their ass about the things that he was spot on about. All Kevin Samuels did was say to women, you know what? You have to be accountable too. You know what I'm saying? You can be rejected too. You have to qualify too. Women don't like to hear that shit. You know what I'm saying? They don't like to hear that, oh, I have to do something. I have to be, I have to be up here. They don't want to hear that shit. They want to hear that, everything is going to be okay. I'm going to find me a light-skinned nigga with good hair to take care of me for the rest of my life. And, no matter what I do, life is just going to be a Tyler Perry movie. No. You understand? It's not how things work. And so, I mean, we got a long way to go, man. I mean, that's the long and short of it. We just have a very long way to go. And Tia, I really, really pray for that sister because like Jenny said in the comments, Tia never gave a valid reason for leaving her husband. You know what I'm saying? Even she says here, her kids are looking at her with a stupid look, like we are. And that's the truth. You feel me? Like, I mean, not to say that she didn't have one, but, it's like a midlife crisis thing. Like, you want to have hot girl summer in your mid-40s. First of all, you got to be hot. You know what I'm saying? Hot girl, I mean, that's false advertising. Shit, you know what I'm saying? If you want to have hot girl in the middle of your 40s, first of all, you got to be hot. And, Shorty found out the hard way, you're not hot in the eyes of the men. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just not there. I don't know what she was thinking, but a lot of these women, this is a very weird trend that I see. They emulate these younger women. You know what I'm saying? And try to do what they do to get the type of attention that they get. Aisha Curry has done this. Come out and talk about how, she's upset because, men don't pay her any attention, like, the type of attention her husband gets. Well, number one, you ain't no celebrity, really. And number two, they respect your husband. That's why they don't give you that attention. You understand what I'm saying? But she's out here whining about not getting male attention. You're a married woman. You're not supposed to be doing that. And it makes my head explode that I even have to explain this because so many people don't understand it. Where are we in today's society? Like, there's a lot of single, decent brothers out here that, inbox me and be asking me questions like, yo, where the mature sisters at? And they got a point. You know what I'm saying? When you see shit like this, Shorty had everything. It did crickets. Shorty on paper, it's like she had everything. You dig? And she
won.
Huh?
She won.
She won.
She wasn't
marriage seemingly for no reason.
She wasn't even at the one. It's not like she was at the 1 yard line and she dropped the ball trying to dance into the end zone. It's not like she had she was about to dunk it, but it was a goaltending. No, it's like she was in the end zone. It was a touchdown, and then for no apparent reason, yanked out on his face mask to get a penalty and have the touchdown overthrown. Like, why?
Right.
Why were you not content to ride off in the sunset winning? A lot of people suffer nasty from self-sabotage. They will be winning, and for whatever reason, either because it's panic, whether it's because of low self-esteem, or whether it's because they just have a genuine allergic reaction to victory, they will go and sabotage themselves.
Right.
They have to put themselves in the loser's chair. Winning just don't feel right to them. And that's a real thing for a lot of people.
Yes.
Imposter syndrome and everything else. That's very real. That needs to be looked at.
Snatching defeat from the jaws of victory was a person. I'm just saying.
Yeah. I definitely talked about that many moons ago where it was a situation in the lunchroom where a bunch of women were sitting down chit-chatting about their relationship experience. Everybody had some bad experiences with their dudes, cheating, whatever the case may be. But they would come in with sex stories as well. So they'll be like, girl, I got my shit banged out the other day by this nigga had a big dick. And they were like, oh shit, tell us more, tell us more. So it was always this intriguing, engaging conversation within the ratchetness of hearing what excursions or fantasy they got to live out the night before. So there was one woman in that group that was with her dude for a while. And long story short, the girl ended up getting rid of her dude because he wasn't bringing the excitement as the other girls were experiencing. So she ended up getting rid of her dude to go out there to be along with the women, engaging in ratchet behavior, one night stands and shit like that. They just have this competition shit. It's a feel and a need to act like one another. That's why a lot of these women kind of look like each other. With the long eyelashes, the BBLs, and all of this stuff. All of them just look alike. And y'all wonder why guys cheat so often, because all y'all look alike. Y'all all the same type. So if he likes you, he gonna like every woman that he see. There's no distinctiveness in the women nowadays. Everybody wants to be just like the other woman and want to be in competition with the other woman. So those are two factors that I see over my time that a lot of women engage in. I did want to show this real quick before we get into our question of the day. So I'll show the question. I'll show this real quick, and then we could get into the question of the day. Former NFL player star Ricky Williams takes his wife's last name to create relationship balance. Y'all thoughts?
How do I hate this out the ways, bruh? This guy, he's just the gift that keeps on giving. Every time I hear Ricky Williams' name,
can we just agree that his brain is fried?
Yeah, bro, real talk.
I know a lot of the tokers are going to be upset about it, but whether you want to blame it on the weed or something else, can we just agree that something, maybe it's hits he took in the league, maybe it's how much he's been puffing, maybe a combination, but something has got his brains looking scrambled sunny side up with some chives and cheddar in there somewhere. Can we be honest?
This dude is a clown, bro. Like, he's always doing some goofy shit. Like, bro, it don't take all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, this is one of those things that screams, for attention. Like, this is some I need attention shit. Please recognize me. You forgot about me. Here I am. I'm taking my wife's last name because that's real manhood. Like, dude, shut up. And just anybody who's on that ultra liberal bullshit, male or female, miss me with that shit, because dude, people go out of their way to erase gender and gender roles and all that shit. And what they don't tell you, probably because they don't know, is that there's a very real reason for gender roles. You understand what I'm saying? There's a very real reason. These things signify certain things. When you marry a woman, I just got married. It was a big deal for me to give someone my last name. You understand what I'm saying? That means that I am responsible for her covering for the rest of her life. You understand what I'm saying? That's a very serious thing. She is of me. That is what that says. That means something. And as a man, you're supposed to embrace that. You're supposed to walk into that, step into that with your chest out. You understand what I'm saying? You're supposed to be, you're supposed to be hardcore with it, balls to the walls. You understand? So you must be a real bitch if you relinquish that and you say, nah, I'm going to take her name. I can't think of anything more estrogen infused than to say that you're going to take a woman's name. Boy, I mean, that boy, you's a sucker among suckers. You understand? You are the king. You are simp of simps. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing this nigga can do. he can run into a building, and a burning building, and save a baby. I'm gonna find something wrong with it. There's nothing this nigga can do. You know what I'm saying? That can win me over at this point. When you do something that despicable, and not to mention, it's not even a black woman.
Mm.
You got all these earthly riches, Ricky Williams, and you couldn't think, to share that with a sister, to build your own community. I'm not against interracial relationships per se, but I do believe in building black families. And if you're going to build black families, well, you kind of need to marry a black woman or a black man, right? You understand? So I'm not, it just disgusts me to see brothers do things like that, to see brothers effeminized on that level. There's something seriously mentally wrong with this boy. You understand what I'm saying? For him to be behaving in such a capacity. Zoe Saldana married a dude, and the dude took her last name. And this type of weird shit, it seems to be becoming a bit more, or they're trying to normalize it a bit more. It's just unnatural. It's just against the way that we're wired. Most women want to be protected. Most women want covering. That's the complaint that most of them get, that men aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing and properly caring for, protecting, and providing for them. That's the argument that most women make out here when they're talking about brothers, that they encounter, or whatever the case may be. And that's a valid argument.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, go ahead.
Mm-hmm. I was just saying. Mm-hmm. No, go ahead.
Yeah, unfortunately, they also missed the part where, you have to qualify for those things also. It's not just going to be given to you just because you show up and you got a pair of titties. That ain't how it works. You dig? So watch this space. Very, very interesting. Very interesting where we're going here. So I don't know. That's crazy. That's insane.
I brought that up because I wanted to get into the question of the day, which pertained to something similar to that, which was I saw this post, and it was really blessed to me that the lady accepted a $20 ring, and in the relationship lasted long enough for him to get her the ring she deserved and always wanted her to have. This is the difference between proof love and true love. True love will always outlast proof love. Proof love needs a big ring, a big wedding, exotic honeymoon. All the true love needs is the person they are committing to. I praise God for a woman that didn't need a big ring or extravagant wedding, but 14 years in, I was able to buy her the ring she deserved. Ladies and gentlemen out there, please choose true love over proof love. But praise God when the man can give you both. So the question is, 14 years. Does 14 years seem like a long time, or was that well worth it? And are a lot of women giving up real love based on their premeditated timeline to receive something like that?
Bobby?
Really quickly, I didn't say anything because didn't know this is where you're going to go with it, but I want to happen to what we were talking about just now before. Okay. What's funny is that this whole thing with Ricky Williams is actually related in part to the issue that happened with, the issues, plural, that have been going on with Steph and his wife, where in this case, I wouldn't necessarily say this is a result of mental illness, but this is what happens. And it's funny because we always have these chats when it's the other way around. But this is the case of what happens when you're trying to appease a partner's insecurity and they see themselves as being in competition with you. Aisha Curry all upset because her husband's getting sworn by groupies and no dudes are checking for her out of respect because she sees herself as being in competition with Steph Curry.
Yes.
Ricky Williams, all his head case issues aside, holding multiple records, being a prolific NFL player, one of the best at his position in decades, getting with a woman who has no real accomplishments to her name. Nothing wrong with that. Everyone can have accolades, whatever. But adopting her name so he can feel like he's not overshadowing her. Trust me, that's not something that just, he might be a space cadet, but I can assure you that's not an idea that he had out of nowhere. She might not have asked him to do that per se, but I'm pretty sure she has said, and there have been conversations held that more or less let it be known that she wasn't exactly feeling secure, or that she felt like she was with this guy on his pedestal, and so he felt, well, you know what? Let me be all congenial. Let me lower the bar for her. I'm going to take your name. So now, these accomplishments are associated with the old me. Now we're on the same level now.
Yeah.
There's recently an MMA fighter about a year or two ago, Ian Gary, this Irish MMA fighter. He got married to this Brazilian woman who was previously married and has a son from the marriage. And they went and had their own child together. I'm also going to note that he's considerably younger than her. That's important as far as power dynamics goes. But big dude signed to the UFC, the biggest MMA organization on the planet, most well known, most notable. He's with this woman who just done some local reporting for some MMA networks, what have you. And same thing applied. Well, they're having their child together. He's deciding that, well, he doesn't want her child to feel left out, that he doesn't matter. So he decided he's going to adopt his wife's name. So that way everyone has the same name. No one feels left out. He could have just as easily have adopted the child and said, well, now you're going to be you're going to be a Gary as well, too. But no, he decided he wants to go, and everyone is Machado, Gary, what have you. This idea of having to diminish yourself so that your partner doesn't feel left out or doesn't feel lower than you. This is called out when men put this pressure on women, or when women feel like their partner is unhappy with their success, or when they feel like, their husband or whatever is insecure about having such an accomplished, educated, wealthy, famous, whatever the status symbol is, partner. But nobody talks about what is the other way around, and the men feel like they have to bend over so the woman doesn't feel left behind. That competitive spirit going on. Just wanted to toss that out there. So jumping on to what you were introducing just now about the woman with the ring, I found that this was interesting. I don't know if you got it from the place where I saw it at, but again, talking about, just for those who lost track already, this woman, she was given this ring by her husband many, many moons ago, 14 years ago, cheap ring for $20. They've been married ever since, and he's finally in a position where he's able to basically upgrade her ring. And so he got her the one that he really wanted to get her from jump. I thought it was a beautiful story. I thought it was wonderful. I thought it was great. There have been some cringe posts that have been dropped over the years about dudes talking about how, yeah, I was a dog. I slept with the sister. I slept with the mother. I had a sister and her auntie at the same time one night. But, she stopped by me, so now we're going to buy her out. It's like, you tried to flex, bro, but that's not what it was.
Lord.
I married her in this crack house. There's this local dope fiend that used to be a pastor. He's still ordained, so he went and did the ceremony for a dime bag, whatever. And now we're gonna go on a honeymoon to St. Bart somewhere. Like, no, bro, that's not a flex. This was not that.
Right.
Yeah.
This was, and I thought that it was wonderful that he found a woman, and we talk about this all the time about how it seems that modern women, they just want the wedding. They just want the honeymoon. They don't actually want to be a wife. They just want all the accoutrements. They want the pomp and circumstance, but they don't actually sign up for the things in the I do. It's like they're downloading an application, installing an application or something, and they have the little contract that has all the fine print. And they just scroll to the bottom. Yeah, just okay, accept. I just want the application. I don't care about the rules and the guidelines here. I just want to go ahead and get this thing. We talk about that. This was a man acknowledging that he had a woman, and he has a woman for 14 years, who was not that. He wasn't able to do better. He gave him a $20 ring, the best he could do. And because she loved him so much, she was so into him that she didn't care about how much the ring cost nearly as much as she cared about, I just want to share your last name. I just want to be your missus.
Mm-hmm.
And she stuck by his side this whole time. He's bossed up. He's leveled up. He's done his thing.
Yeah.
And he never forgot the woman who accepted him back when he had little in the pot. Now that he's, overflowing, babe, this is what I really want to do for you. That's beautiful.
It is.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, oh God, every day, man. I imagine we're gonna start going bald soon to look like him. Every day, I feel more like Ving Rhames and Baby Boy, and it's like I try to be a good nigga. But y'all want a nigga with two straps to go away. But every day I feel like Melvin, man. I swear. You know, there's gonna be a confusion that found a problem with this.
Of course.
Yeah. They're talking about why is she embarrassing her like this? He should take this down. Women have to stop accepting the bare minimum. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said,
she wants to look. And again, and I keep saying this because it's true. Now, there have been occasions where some men have taken this and have abused it.
Mm-hmm.
People abuse things, period. But more often than not, when you properly do your due diligence, when you vet properly, you know you have a good quality man that's trying. He ain't there yet, but he's on the rise. And you invest early.
Mm-hmm.
When he makes it, he's not going to forget the people that were there from day one, that was there, and they were the early investors, and they're going to get to reap the benefits thereof.
You'll get that ROI.
Now, you don't have to do that. You can say, well, you know what? Thanks, but that's not for me. I don't want to go ahead and be an early investor. I want the finished product. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that either.
Yeah.
I'm not going to knock anyone for saying that's them, because everyone doesn't have what it takes for that, especially if you're at a certain level, if you're accustomed to a certain thing. For some people, that's too much. I'm not knocking that. No shade. However, there's a cost, risk, reward element to everything in life.
Truth.
If you want the finished product just the same way how you'd have had a lower barrier to entry when you got in the door early, now that the finished product is here, yesterday's price ain't gonna be today's price.
Mm-hmm.
You have to pay higher to get it. It's just like any event. If you go on Eventbrite, if you go and buy tickets, you can get tickets, early bird tickets for $30. Cool. The day of the event, now it's $120.
You damn right.
How crazy, how goofy would you be walking up at the door, telling the doorman, yeah, let me get in. He's like, oh, $30. That's to buy your drinks when you get in there, right? No, it's the admission ticket. Oh, no, that's the early bird prices now. This is the day of. General admission now, $120.
Yeah.
Why should I pay $120 for this Riccio funky event that was $30 just a week ago? Yeah, because that was a week ago. Now the event is here. Yesterday's price ain't today's price.
Right.
The man that has become self-made now, you're not going to get in for the same price you would have back when he was still trying to figure it out and make something shake. Nor should you.
Mm-hmm.
That says something about your character. You should understand that as a man who's now made it, he's being cautious. He's mindful that there's going to be people checking for him today that weren't looking at him the day before. He understands there's a target on his back now. I wish a lot of these professional athletes would understand that. But the rules have changed now.
Yeah.
This woman invested early and it paid off. This also defeats the stereotype that a lot of men are presented that women only care about the finished product. I personally would have thought that this would have been excellent. A lot of women would have been taking this to say, see, all women aren't just out for your money. There are some of us that are here to get in early. We just want a good man who's... I would have thought that this would have been the direction that many were going to run it. Because this was perfect to go ahead and punch that whole theory of the nuts right there. What are you talking about? You red pillars. See, this is the antithesis of what you're talking about.
True.
Yeah.
But no, that's too much logic. You can't have that.
You ask
we can't have that.
You want people to think too? Nah,
So
nigga,
I
we
saw that,
ignorant
and
shit.
I'm literally just sitting back watching this, and I'm just like, oh my. And to be fair, where I saw it, it got good engagement. It wasn't all the women. Unfortunately, as is usually the case, it was the usual suspects. So the women who you would expect to get it, they got it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They were on the right path. The women who were all the way out in left field, all the unresolved trauma and damage, the misandrist and everything, they did what I would expect them to do. And I'm just sitting back like, my. I watched
Yeah.
y'all run off the cliff full speed, not even having to hit the brakes. And the worst part is you really think you're winning right now. You think you're
Yeah.
eating right now.
Mhm.
But yeah, so I saw it and I was just I was reminded when I saw that just now from you that how I felt joy and ecstasy on some Frankie Beverly and Maze, and then they wouldn't let me have it. They just yanked the rug out from under me and they had to bring me back down to this ghetto we call reality. I'm just
Exactly. Man,
I can't be happy.
we had a wonderful night tonight, and it was super dope. Appreciate everything. The jewels are being dropped. We want to get into our last segment of the night, which is the crown check. And this one is going to come at you guys a very little to the left because this isn't any, I don't think nobody knows about this lady, right?
Okay.
But she was awarded at the today's game, the Dolphins game, as the teacher of the legacy teacher of South Florida. This is the principal of Norland. As you know, Norland football team went 14-0. They got to the state game, and when they got to the state game, they end up losing to the state game to Tampa Prep, Tampa Prep, which was a hard loss. I had a couple of my friends who had children on that squad, and just to see that one of them was a senior and didn't get to capitalize on the victory and come home with the gold. They end up leaving with the silver, but it's just not the same as saying you were state champs. Um, so, she's a principal out there in Norland doing great things, supporting the programs. Norland's basketball is ranked on top right now. So Norland is doing phenomenally great, and she's part of the reason why they're doing so great. This sister here is named Rhonda Gaines Miller.
Okay.
You can that's her Facebook page. And she does phenomenal. She has a phenomenal rep background, and just to be nominated on live TV at the Dolphin Stadium as a legacy teacher, that's legend status. So that's super dope, because they honor local heroes in the Dolphins organization, and she was
That's one.
honored for that. And to be
Yeah.
out there with her, she was out there with her husband, it just was super dope to at least, that's one of the perks of being married. You get to share joys of moments that's, captivated like this, iconic moments. What better way to share that with somebody you love, and is your life partner, your best friend. I thought that was super dope as well for both of them to have that experience, and for a man to be behind his wife to understand how powerful and strong she is, and she's under his covenant. That says a lot for the man he is as well. So I definitely wanted to give a shout out to her. This is her travel business. We talk about CEOs and entrepreneur. She does have her travel
Hey,
business as well. You can go to her travel business, which is Rhonda Gaines Miller dot inteltravel.com. All right. And then you can go on her site, book your trip and everything like that. She does that as well. So shout out again to Rhonda Gaines Miller for being such a phenomenal woman, especially down here in South Florida. Kudos to her.
Dope.
All right. That's
Love it.
all I
big
have for you
ups.
guys tonight. You guys can wrap it up and definitely let us know what, how everything was.
Yeah, my dude. You know, I'm gonna wrap it up real quick. I see, you know, we got about out of time here, but I just want to go over some of these comments there. Boy, Jenny be having some gems, boy. He's like, women want to get married,
Hey,
but
yo.
have a wedding, but won't change her last name just in case. And then she says, you want a $70,000 wedding and $20,000 ring, but you have bad credit and Sesame Street character lashes and brows, bruh. Yo, Jenny, you should think about running for president. I'm just saying, I'm using that shit. The Sesame Street character lashes, that's going down in history. I'm using that. But you know, shout out to the queen chick, the crown check. Shout out to the crown check. That was dope as hell. That sister's homebred. 305 in the building. You know what I'm saying?
Yay.
It's a beautiful thing. We got, and that just goes to show, man, we got a lot of sisters out here with sense. They're just not loud and boisterous like a lot of these hood monkeys that we see running around acting a fool. You know what I'm saying? There are a lot of sisters out here with sense. Brothers, don't be discouraged by the sexy reds, Sukihanas, Cardi B's, and Meg Thee Stallions of the world. You know what I'm saying? They're just loud and boisterous, so it seems like there's a lot of them. There's not. You know, not really. I mean, there's a lot. There's more than there should be. But most women are pretty laid back, man. You know what I'm saying? The overwhelming majority of women are pretty laid back. Like back in the day when all these guys was out here pushing this thug, you know, and you see these dudes with the teardrops tattooed on their face and their pants hanging off their ass. That didn't represent most men. It's the same way with sisters. These chicken heads don't represent most sisters. And if you take anything from this show, man, I want y'all to remember and understand that there are sisters out here that got a lot of sense. There are sisters out here that are really looking for love. As far as that last situation with the wedding ring, like Bobby said, that was beautiful. You know what I'm saying? And you have all these posts that come out where these morons will take something beautiful and just piss all over it. You understand what I'm saying? So you got to understand what it is that you're seeing. You're seeing people that are unhappy with themselves, or people that want to say some shit that's provocative for clicks and likes and comments or whatever. Everybody want to be a fucking celebrity now. You understand what I'm saying? But none of what these people are saying is real. You know what I mean? And you got to understand that it's not as bad as it looks, though it does look real bad. You know, we got to do a better job of changing the way that it looks, you know, because unfortunately, when you got all these monkey mouth, you know, clowns and buffoons out here acting a fool, the white media will take them and platform them. You understand what I'm saying? And blow them up to be larger than life, like the sexy reds of the world, you know, and that becomes what everyone else looks at as Black culture. And we have to be very, very careful about that. We have to push back against it. You know, too many of y'all watching reality TV. That's why they keep putting the programming on. It's not flattering. You know, it's an insult to all of us, but we support it. We kiki and kaka. You understand? It's a problem. You know, we have, to speak to another issue we had back earlier in the show, we have sexual predators out here that are running amok. They do that because nobody comes out like the brother came out and just puts them on blast and causes them to be punished for their actions. I hope whoever this is, I hope they lock his ass under the jail and take all his shit. You understand what I'm saying? And, you know, that'll send a message, you know, to some of these other people out here that are, you know, fucking around with people's future and people's livelihoods, because people take this stuff seriously. This is their livelihood. I went to acting school. You know, I decided not to be an actor, whatever the case may be. I saw some of these demons in show business. So I wasn't rocking with that shit for some of the reasons discussed earlier. But people who really get into it, you know, it's a craft and it's a beautiful craft. And you got people out here just pissing on it, you know, and you know, doing all type of predatory things to give people in exchange, you know, for opportunity, you know, to give people opportunities. That shit ain't right, man. And there used to be a time when we weren't like this. You know what I'm saying? And we need to get back to that. We really got to get on point with our code of conduct. And I'll land my plane. Thanks for everybody supporting and tuning in tonight.
Dope. Bobby, wrap it up for us.
Absolutely. So again, there's been another episode where we have went ahead and tried to showcase some really dope Black businesses, entrepreneurs that are doing their thing, sharing their gifts, their services with the world, and looking to make a profit off at the same time. And again, we understand that this is a huge part of the ecosystem. We need this. It's all well and good to support the big name businesses. However, the big businesses are only a portion of the economic ecosystem. It's the small day to day businesses, the small businesses that really make up the lion's share of the economy. So just because you see the Fortune 500s doing well, the Fortune 1000s doing well, they're only a piece of the pie. At the local level, if that's not on track, if that ecosystem isn't healthy, it's all going to fall apart. And we need to make sure that we have a proper stake and representation in there as well too. So when you have businesses that are thorough, they provide solid customer service, the price points are fair and reasonable, and they look like us, we need to make sure that we support those entrepreneurs to let them know that they're appreciated, that they're wanted, that they're needed, that they feel that drive and that urge to continue to provide services. Because it's hard being a business owner. It's difficult, especially if you've gone all in and this is your only means of an income. It's difficult doing that. It's a lot of sacrifice involved. It's a lot of hit and miss sometimes. So when they're doing something right, make sure you show that love, make sure you show that support, share it with their friends and family, help them promote, get the names out there. And also, once we have these established entrepreneurs and businesses in place, they can serve as a template for others on how to handle and conduct business. They can learn from each other. Someone else wants to go into business and say, I want to sell bow ties, or I want to sell men's wear accessories. When they see that Mr. Cigar and Bow Tie has been around for a grip, huge following, a lot of support, they can go study their formula, saying, well, they do a lot of this, that, and the third. This is going to be my template on how to go ahead and get in there and not just start up the business, but most importantly, to last, to have that same kind of success. So it's very needed. And as always, big ups to the Queen Check, big ups to that sister. Shout out to Norland. Norland's been doing big things, been hearing about them all year. Massive strides that they've been taking and making. And it's very important, especially with everything that's going on in public education these days. A lot of criticism being heaped on public education, rightly so. But it's important that when you have people that are doing the right things, that are making a difference, making an impact, just like what I said about the businesses, they need to feel that. It's difficult to be that person doing different, that's trying to do above the normal, what's expected, trying to actually make something shake. Those people, they really need that. And sometimes, we see the smiles for the presentations, for the awards, but what we don't see, she's been in education for over 3 decades. What you're not going to see is all the stress, the headaches, the confrontations that have been had, the uncomfortable conversations, the ultimatums that have been given, some positions that have had to been walked away from, the things that took to get there. If you were to sit that sister down and really have an intimate, closed door conversation with her about the things that she's seen and experienced, some of these solid educators, they got some war stories, man. I've been there, done that. I know what that's like, and I didn't even scratch the surface of that, so I know what it is. So I tip my hat off to the sister. I hope that she'll have many more wonderful years of service and education, right there, making a difference for our children, for our babies. And again, we'll catch you on the flip side next time. We have some more for you guys. And same time, same place, same space. Make sure that you all follow, like, subscribe, share with people, tell somebody to tell somebody, get active, get involved, and get at us. We talk back.
Yeah.
Definitely. Shout out to that. Thank you, fellas, for such a great show tonight. Remember, we have vision board next week. So get your vision boards together because we want to see y'all vision boards as well. All right. So Y'all make sure y'all be easy, be safe, and we'll holler at y'all next week. All right. Peace
All
out,
right.
fam.
Yeah.
Peace.
We out here.
On the album, we do things like songs that are a little, what we call sexy. You can see from the title, it's more of a love album.